All right, good morning. You guys hear me? Back in a minute.
Risk disclosure statement. There is a risk of loss in trading stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, derivatives, options, forex, and cryptocurrencies. This risk can be substantial, and therefore investors should carefully consider their financial suitability prior to trading. Past performance is not indicative of future performance. The software, strategy, chat rooms, websites, and any associated websites are digital venues for educational purposes only and should not be construed as an express or implied promise or guarantee that you will profit that losses may be limited in any manner whatsoever. Users of the information accept full responsibility for the outcomes of their deployment in wholesale trader, LLC, and any associated companies, agents, management, owners, and customers harmless without preservation. Please trade responsibly. Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC, Rule 4.41, hypothetical and simulated trading performance results have certain inherent limitations, some of which are described herein. No representation is being made that any account below is likely to achieve profits or losses similar to those shown. In fact, there are frequently sharp differences between hypothetical or simulated performance results and the actual results subsequently achieved by any particular trading program. One of the limitations of hypothetical performance results is that they are generally prepared with the benefit of hindsight. In addition, hypothetical trading does not involve financial risk, and no hypothetical trading report can completely account for the impact of financial risk in actual trading. For example, the ability to withstand losses or adhere to a particular trading program in spite of trading losses on material points which can also adversely affect actual trading results. Because these trades have not actually been executed, the hypothetical results may have under or overcompensated for the impact, if any, of certain market factors such as lack of liquidity. There are numerous other factors related to the markets in general or to the implementation of any specific trading program which cannot be fully accounted for in simulated trading or in preparation of hypothetical performance results involved, of which can adversely affect actual trading results.
All right, so there's a little bit of action pre-market here. Yes, some decent sell ice come in here. Actually, I didn't even see this blip. Well, it's way more than decent. This is 1200 here. I thought this is 1000, another 1200. I was looking at this one. Oh, no, I'm sorry, this one here. This whole area is large. So let's incorporate all this sell ice in here. You're looking like at probably over 3,000 icebergs in this zone pre-market. I don't think I've seen that before. Not that many anyway. I'm gonna expand this too. So this is a big spot gamma level 2. We'll read that. That's probably has something to do with it, but either way, aggressive buyers are running into a lot of sell ice up here. Trouble drawing these zones. There we go. There we go. All right, so it's a pretty wide zone. 90, 96 down the, yeah, it's a 12-point zone, but the move out of here should be pretty significant. Let's start here, I guess, bigger picture. This one doesn't look as bad as NASDAQ, but it still doesn't look good as far as this balance, failed breakout. Tried to hold that volume node, didn't. Now we're here building balance. I'm expecting that. For some reason, if we start to, retake these balance areas, like this prior one here, and then, I'll look for longs. I mean, longer term type of view longs up into here. If you get through there, then we're probably then you want to watch this one where this directional conviction started. Then you can start to look for all-time highs again. But again, this was a multi-week balance. That's a failed breakout. It tried to hold, it did, recovered, and then smushed, and now we're here. So that's what that looks like to me, thesis-wise. Lugs, again, overnight, just ridiculously perfect, powerful, as usual. So we built new lugs, got below the prior blue, prior yellow directional, should have tagged this, did not, and just ripped right back through. So for instance, if I saw this and first and foremost, the minute it got back above the yellow, I'd be looking for aggressive entries period to get long. But even down here, if I were to get you always got to give the benefit of the doubt of a tag of the blue or the red, right? So that's why I'm not aggressive. But if I get a long signal here, I will take a long. If it failed to take blue and now I'm getting a bullish signal, that's not, something's wrong as far as the bearish side, right? So I would have taken a retest fail. So I'm just giving you examples. We'll get into this during the real trading, but once this thing got above here, ripped right to the red, and now we drew new lugs. So this is a really important area, lug-wise, ice-wise. So we know there's 4,000 icebergs right in here. Here's the new lug. Here's the prior red. This needs to hold. And then, especially for how much fuel is in here, we're going to make it to baby lug in red. If this fails, then we're coming back down to the blue. So really important area, lug and real-time volume, which is the main driver, right? And this is a very big level, this 4,600 level. Options wise, again, that's probably contributing to some of this ice play, but I don't care about that. I just care about traders that are caught. There's guys buying the crap out of it, running into huge sell ice. So when it moves out of here, if it moves to the downside, they're in big trouble. Pictures 40, 45.85, 45.35 for the lows. We're still faced with large negative gamma position in all indices, which implies high volatility continues today. It's a good thing for us, day traders. We see resistance at 4,600. That's exactly where we're at right now, in the middle of this zone. Remember, he's talking about the cash prices, which the equivalent is 45.89 in the futures. Updated data, we now measure the heaviest gamma strike at 4,600 from 4,700, the result of some very large straddle interest added at the 4,600 strike, an increase of 30,000 calls and puts. Interest adds to the pinning effect of 4,600. So as it moves away, this is like the area where it should come back to based on his options data. Yesterday mentioned the void between 46.7. There's some evidence that the void is starting to fill in. This lends the idea, even though we have large negative gamma and high implied volatility, 4,600 is becoming fair value. This is not just with straddle flow noted, but also looking at SPY. See below, we have blah, 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 blah. However, these strikes are quite large and they're generating models and negative gamma signals. With that, we don't think a substantial rally can manifest. So this is the stuff that you pay attention to, right? Substantial rally can manifest until your large puts are expired or closed. The obvious event would be the FOMC next Wednesday. For now, we not see the position in major drawdown in S&P at this point, but feel single stocks QQQ could underperform through Monday. All right, so it's always, you want to know the option stuff, but we're looking at the bigger picture stuff. The bigger picture, like I just showed you, is bearish in there. It's really bearish in here, NASDAQ. Broke down, retested what? High volume node. You guys have you ever seen this pattern before? Retest high volume node, fail, balance, fail breakout, balance. Now we're right in the middle of this thing. So expecting that we could rally, but this is still bigger picture, bigger move, looking like to the downside. Lugs and NASDAQ. Hey, look at that. You guys ever seen this before? So built new lugs. Looked like it was going to hold. Again, I don't know what volume signals this is overnight, but you watch this and I would have been looking long because it held the directional, got back above blue. But then when this fails, this is your target. And there you go. There's a nice 200-point trade overnight. Bounces directly off the blue lug and then right through the directional. So this is looking long, short term. So any long signals I get at the open, I will get in aggressively. I won't wait for retest failure. I'll get in at 3/4 of an ATR, and this is my target. For some reason, if this fails and gets back below here, then it's the target. So we'll go over it as it happens. So this is looking positive, and we don't know what ES is yet because we're just sitting on this yellow lug. But if this gets rolling to the upside as well, this is going to be a big broken ice area, our setup, and then this is the target. Just almost 40 points away. All right. The other one, Russell, looks horrendous, as we've been saying for weeks now. This is a daily. And this thing is in deep trouble, in my opinion. This is multi-month going back to last. It's almost a year. This is almost a year balance. This is a major fail breakout. Got through, and then we've been building balances, just trying to recover this high volume node. Just couldn't do it. So the fail breakout here, and then now this looks like basically balance. And now we're breaking down. So this is not looking good either. I mean, we can't do temporary rallies, but I'm talking bigger picture. All three of these look pretty bad. Remember what I said, when the sell-off really starts, it's going to be brutal because you're going to have guys like trying to catch the knife like they always do, and they always make money, and they're going to just get smushed. And I can't wait to see it. The little Mimi dudes, or whatever you call that, Mimi stocks, that they're always buying the dips. Doesn't really help us overall as day traders, but when you start seeing the sell-off and you start seeing this relative volume really pick up, watch out is what I'm talking about. Right? You'll start seeing like 6, 7, 8 times on the sell-offs. Do not stand in front of that. Well, there's actually a good volume here overnight. You can see spiking 4 times, 3.5 times, 3 times. So we should get some good trade today, I'm thinking, until I just mushed it. All right, crude, obviously very bullish. I was long overnight. I got out at I failed at the yellow lug this morning. I'll show you here in a second, but this is now. This thing's just off to the races. Really good for gas prices. Balance, breakout, tidy balance, breakout, balance, breakout. So, I mean, we're in areas we haven't been in 10 years. Way up here, 85. You gotta go back. Yeah, we went over this yesterday, so this is a big balance. Again, this is from 14, so 8 years ago. You can't really use this. 13, yeah, 13 and 14. I mean, this is definitely something to take note of because this is, price struggle. That's at 100. This is where this broke down from here. So as we come into this area, is probably where we're going to meet a little resistance. We're already through all this prior stuff here. So this is the next stop. Again, this was 8 years ago, but this was important. This is where this whole directional move started from, right? This one and this one. So these are going to be really important areas where we'll probably finally stop, but looks like we're going straight there. Sweet $7 a gallon gas prices coming your way. So that's that. Obviously very bullish. Lugs. See Russell struggling at the red lug here. So we're seeing multiple tests. Yesterday we kept testing yellow, red, and then it finally busted. I was long this. There was a long signal here. I was nervous because we talked to Ms. Lovely yesterday about like, is there a number of times that you don't want to see it keep touching? So I was a little nervous putting on the long here, thinking like tested it, but followed the volume signal, got long. It was an awesome trade. Build new lugs. This is exactly what should happen. When you build new lugs, it should hold prior red, new yellow. But it did. This was like right at the close or the open of Globex. Or right at the close. So I caught this move all the way up here. Right, this is you can go through every chart of every market and just watch these tendencies, right? New lugs, held, Then what happened? New lugs, couldn't hold. Where's your target? If it can't hold, blue. Boom. That's 100 tick trade, dollar trade. Held. Targets, yellow. Couldn't get up there quite. Here's your DBA. You can use that as part of target-wise too. Now we're just bouncing at the blue. So I will take anything comes in aggressive, anything comes in bullish, I'll be aggressive off the blue lug. If we break it, then I'll reassess based on how we're trading around the new yellow prior blue. See if nothing's coming here yet. Pretty quiet. And then finally gold. Finally we'll go to greens as well. Hey, look at that. You guys ever see this? Look at this. Boom, boom, blue, red. Red, probably blue. But there's some things to note here. There was some major volume coming in here. You had a 500 stop run, almost 600 with sell ice. So this is a double whammy right there. A broken double whammy. Let's see what the ATR is. TR is 13.6 points or ticks. Definitely got 13 ticks above there. And then you had another stop run here. This was 252, drew that. So I'm not going to be aggressive. I mean, you'd have to, the red lug's like right here. I'd want to see something else and then something new, and then I'll short it. Other than that, this is looking like it's going to bust and make new lugs, and then I'll look to go long. I'll show you why I want to be long anyway. But for some reason, if this fails and this gets back below here, then we're going back to the blue lug, in my opinion. The other thing that you want to note, you should always be watching, is the volume really picked up. We saw the volume setups, but relative volume, you can see here. That's important, because if this fails, we're coming back here. This is invested traders. Guys are short, guys are long. Whatever way this breaks is going to be the big move. You get 4 times volume in 2 different bars, and we saw all the volume in the SI. So this is going to be a decent move. It should be out of here because of all this investment. And then finally, longer term, this is a failed buying tail. Held the high volume node, it looked like it could collapse, built more balance, broke out of that balance through the high volume node. So this is officially a failed breakdown, and that's bullish. So when you get things aligning now, we get above this new lug. If we build new lugs, this is going to be probably a rip higher. We can get above this red lug here. If it fails, well, then you look for these as your targets. And you can see here, trying to bust out of this composite. So everything, if this starts to move higher, everything's going to be pointing towards a rip. We're out of this. We're going to get new lugs. We got the volume signal. We have the failed breakdown of the major balance area. This is looking like a huge trade to the upside if it gets rolling. All right. I'm just going to show you guys. Take strike rolling, and then I'll try to answer some of these questions. See how active it is that Jordan had. Let's just cover one quickly here. To clarify, and are you on here, Jordan, in case I need to ask you what you're talking about? I haven't really gone through this yet. Scott, to clarify and qualify your current working thesis and utilize the Ludwig levels with the SI indicator setups. If below the yellow directional line, then there's a bearish signal, sell ice. Okay, so be careful first of all on this. Sell ice isn't just inherently, I mean, it's inherently bearish, but it doesn't mean that the market's going down, right? You have to watch. Yeah, if you're bearish, you'd like to see sell ice, you'd like to see the big money playing in your direction. But if they're wrong, that's broken ice, right? So be careful how you label bearish and bullish, right? Sell ice and buy ice are not just strictly bearish and bullish. Depends on how the market reacts out of there. Then aggressively short at 3/4 of an ATR below the zone without a retest. Yes. So again, if we get It's my bearish example just to keep it clean. Why is this still striking out? Everything is bullish. So I'm probably gonna have to come back to these if things start firing off, but I mean, we'll just use it. This is the Dow, right? Like on the upside. Once we get above the yellow, like we couldn't tag the blue, that's telling you something right there. And then once you get above the directional, I'm getting long aggressively 3/4 in ATR. I'm not waiting for retest failure, right? And then my targets are baby lugs and the big lug. So, let's see what else you got here. Well, first, I'm going to see how this reacts out of here. I might get long on this. So this is a lot of ice pre-market. So we'll see how we react out here. And I'll try to answer those questions if it's dead. Let's go. So, I mean, you could go long gold if you're expecting a new lug based on this, right? This is all we're doing is retesting this. Didn't really got too far out of this one. This was not an ATR out of here, but you could anticipate. But I want to watch a new lug build, and then I'll get in. Jordan's not on this meter. Need to reconnect on CL. Interesting. Okay. That looks different. It still looks bullish, but this is what was happening yesterday. I kept tagging the yellow, and then finally launched. So this is an example on any bullish signals I get, I will take it aggressively because we're above the yellow look. If we come up here, I'll take a short aggressively off the red look, right? You got to play these as support and resistance until they build new ones. So I'll be aggressive. If we build new ones, then change my tune. And again, you use the lugs to come up with your thesis, and then you wait for your real-time volume event to confirm and then control your risk and everything else. So nice to get a signal here to trade. All right, since we're at the yellow lug here, so in this example, I would wait. Let's just see where we're at for sure. See how we're just like bouncing around this yellow lug. So in this example, I want to see an ATR move away from this ice zone, which would be the yellow lug as well, a retest, then I'll go long. I'm not going to be aggressive right here. If I get a signal up here, a bullish signal, then I'll be aggressive because we'll be clear from that yellow lug. But around the yellow lug, you got to be careful because it can get choppy. That's why I wait for the retest failure. So meaning I need to see ATR is 4.17. So say 4.25 point. I need to see top of the zone is at.
Crude stock CL 360 contracts.
I'm gonna buy crude, you know. 95.75, so I need to see 99.5 first. I need to see 99.5. Then I need to see the retest, and I get into 3/4 in ATR, and then my stop is going to go 3/4 in ATR below there. So that's a pretty decent risk. But again, there's so much volume in here with the sell ice, you should be getting at least a 20-30 point move out of here, would be my guess, if not more. So first and foremost, I know I'm above this yellow lug, so I'm going to get in. The problem is we're close to this red lug. Right, so you could get this aggressively, but this could hit this and fail. So let's just monitor this. This could be an awesome dumb and dumber here. If it just swipes up, touches the red, and this fails, and it doesn't get an ATR above here. See 400 stop run, buy stop run. Pretty quiet. Because I jinxed it. I told you I mushed it the minute I said it was going to be active. There's nothing going on. I have a gift. All right. So that's that. First zone, second ATR, 17 ticks. So let's check this out here. This might be an awesome Dumb and Dumber play. So this top of this zone is 96. So a full ATR would be 13 above there. That'd be real close. Yep. What would that be? So you would get, you can actually stay inside the ATR, tag this, and then if this setup fails, that's going to be a great short. If it holds, well, then we should build new logs and you can play the retest to get long, right? So that's what I'm watching here. So I will wait. If this turns into a Dumb and Dumber, Dumb and Dumber stop run with no follow through. I'll wait, watch this touch 13, and then when this gets below here, 3/4 of an ATR, I'm gonna go short. If this rips, we build new lugs, then I'll wait for a retest fail because it'll be the new yellow, right? And then I'll go long based on off of the volume setup. Keep an eye on that. Perfect test of the yellow there. So anything bullish comes in here, I am in aggressively. I didn't mean to do that. I'm in. I'm not waiting for a retest failure. I'm in. This is NASDAQ and my target is the red lug. 15,430. ATR is only 24. That's not bad. It's usually like 40. So gold holding like I thought it might. So next, hopefully we could build some new logs and this thing is going to be ripping to the upside, I think.
S&P iceberg by ES 701 contracts.
All right, so now we have a new event. It's just fine because now we're away from that yellow lug. Now I'll play this aggressively out of here. See, it's still coming in. Sellers can't be feeling real comfortable right now if they were taking positions. I guarantee you this color is the wrong line. It does this every time. Told it. I touched the top one and it colors the bottom one. All right, so that's the bottom of that. I'm not gonna incorporate this. I'm just gonna put this in here. So where this stopped, which is right there. So now I will be aggressive out of this zone because we're above the yellow lug, right? ATR is 5.15. So 5.15 times 0.75, 3.86. So 4 points out of here, I'm long.
Russell iceberg by alert at RT 150 contracts.
375. And I don't have to risk as much now either, right? Like if I was playing this first ice zone, I had to risk like 13 points. You don't have to risk that. This is a new event. So you risk 3/4 of an ATR. AKA 4 points. So if I get filled, my stop's going to go at, let's say 96, 92. So my stop will be right there. Still 12-point risk, but it's not. It would have been close to 20 playing off of this ice and pre-market ice zone. So now you have, again, we're above the yellow lug. For now, if this can hold, this is the main question, right? Above the yellow lug, you had two volume events. You had this sell ice that just has obviously moved away from there, and then you had buy ice come in, right? So this should hold and rip. If this for some reason gets back below the lug, well then I'm going to change my tune. I'm going to get this out of here before I get filled on that. Now we wait like snipers. You guys, if this crude rips up here, please let me know. Like if it goes up to that red lug, let me know. Because I can't watch everything at one time on one screen. Or if you see other setups, let me know. We missed two monster trades yesterday because I was on other markets. We missed a crude long and a soybean
Gold
long.
stocks GC,
Bye-bye.
422 contracts.
Bye-bye gold. It's like I thought I should have put something on down here. I mean, I didn't. No, not that I should have. I just had a feeling this was going to happen, but I'm following my rules. I'm waiting for it. Now I want to see some new lugs here, and this thing's going to be adios. Let's see if we have any new lugs. What, did I lose my internet? What's going on here? Very quiet. Nothing yet. Do you guys have new lugs for gold? What's GL, JMEM? I mean GC. There you go. All right. There's your lugs. There's your zone. We break out of here an ATR, 3/4 of an ATR. I'm going long automatically. I'm not waiting for retest. This fails, well, then we'll be back below the new yellow and wait for a retest failure, and I'll go short. There's your volume event. 420. So is this going to be a dumb and dumber? Meaning the buying is only guys puking, nothing real behind it, or is this going to be a stop and hold where, again, I'm going to get in 3/4 of an ATR aggressively because we built new lugs and we'll be above the yellow lug. Actually, let's see here. Well, technically what I should do is wait because we're right at the yellow lug, right? So I should wait for retest failure on this. Because again, you don't know, sitting here, this could fail. So the best trade is that. If I get a signal away from the yellow lug, then I'll be aggressive. So on this one, I will wait for retest failure. So I take that back. Which you get, crude or gold is the number 2 market to retest the zones after crude. So, all right, what's going on here? Equities might be in trouble again. So this is telling, right? What is this telling you? We expected this to hold that. You should not be seeing a negative volume event if this is going to make it to here. So now we're back below here. We get through this red lug, baby lug. This is the target. And you know there's a ton of volume up here. It might be a straight shot right there. So this technically is, let's see, 96. This is the new setup here, right? The most recent. Bottom of the zone was 96. ATR is 5.88, so 6 points. Did we get down to 90? We sure did. So I'm going to go short this now, right? Because if new setup, ATR retest failure, I'm in. And we'll be below the yellow lug. And I'm waiting for retest because either way here, because we're dancing around the yellow lug. I was willing to go long aggressively out of this up here, but now we're back right on the lug, dancing around the directional lug. Here's a retest. So what did I say for our 5.88? 5 is 4.41. So we'll say 4.5 points out of here. 92, 91.5, I will go short. Remember, if we're above the lug, you have to give the benefit of the doubt that we're going to tag this, right? But if this gets back below here, then we're going there. See, we're just dancing around this thing. So what I will not do now, though, is because this is now officially a bearish setup, right? This newest, because we got a full ATR. So I will not go long aggressively now on this setup because we confirmed it as a bearish setup. I would have to see something new to go long.
NQ stock by NQ, 250 for contracts.
All right, here we go. And Q I didn't. It was definitely above the all lug. Yep. All right, I'll go along this aggressively. Because we're above the L lug, right? There's a little white snake for you. So these are back to back. It was over 200. You see the snakes at 1100. Black Mamba. I love my names. They're fun. That's this and this. So quickly, ATR here is 30.2. So 30.2 times 0.75 is 22.65. So say 22 3/4. So 22 3/4 point above this zone is the aggressive entry. So 72, 75. That's where I will go long that trade. And then, oh, look at, oh, must be a coincidence. Wonder where we're going. So that's going to be 50, 60 points up to the red lug. That gets rolling. All right, he just doesn't know what it wants to do. Still short this if it fails. I don't like that the Nasdaq's above the L lug, but I'm not, I got to trade these independently. I screwed up yesterday playing that game. I was short Nasdaq and I decided not to buy the blue lug and ES with ice, and the thing ripped 35 points. That was user error.
Soybean iceberg sells ES, 200 contracts.
So I'm going to put in my auto trader stuff. So you have full, so with the Nasdaq, you have full expectation this should get to the red lug based on this directional. We're up here, it should do this. You shouldn't get a bearish signal. You get a bearish signal, something's wrong. And that's why I will then wait for full ATR retest fail, even though we're above the L lug, right? If I get that, I'll take it. Then if we get below the yellow lug,
NQI iceberg
I'll
by
take it
NQ,
aggressively.
152 contracts.
Get filled on that to the exact tick, per usual. It's just insanity. Literal insanity. All right. Short yes. Not real excited about this with the NASDAQ above its, but it's kind of starting to fail. There's more buy ice, another event. I got to draw that zone. This does not feel comfortable to me. I think this is going to rip, but we'll see. You got to trade the process, right? All right, so stop is going to go 3/4 of an ATR above this zone. 6.12 times 0.75, 4.59. So I'll go 4.75 above this zone. 95, 99. So 03, 04, 04 half. That's my stop. This does not feel good. You can also come up with strategies where you say, you know what, I'm only playing these equities if they're all aligned, above or below the yellow lug, so on and so forth, right? Like this looks very bullish, and the ES is bouncing around the yellow. So you could say, I'm not taking that trade, right? Taking on the chin here, I think. This is what happens at the lug, right? It's just struggling. But if I get filled there, I'm going to go up, probably be long NASDAQ, and then get a runner there. I told you this felt bad. Look at this. I mean, just straight. I have to seriously consider not trading an ES anymore. I just can't stand it. Like, I just can't, even when I have a winner, I just don't like that market. I kick ass at NASDAQ. I don't know why I'm wasting my time with the ES. I really don't. All right, so this was the new setup here. This ice right here. Come the stocks, here come the waterboarding. So I could actually bring my stop, my entry down now. I might have already missed it. I don't need to get long at, so 3/4 of an ATR. The top of that zone's 30. So 31.61 is the ATR times 0.75. 23 points above here, so 50, so 24, 54. So I can move this down to 54 now because of the new setup, right? So 3/4 of an ATR above here is 54. So that's where I will go long that. There you go. Didn't get stopped out yet. I'm not holding my breath here, especially dancing around this lug. But I played, this is the way I said I was going to play it, right? I mean, you got the bearish signal, I got the retest, and we got the failure. So I got short. I mean, granted, it's right here. You can come up with a strategy, say, I don't take any setups at the yellow lug. I mean, again, this is kind of a work in progress with the thesis with the lugs, but I didn't do anything wrong here. And at least I didn't get filled to the exact tick, so I can't complain about that. All right. Soybeans or something there earlier. Buy, sell ice, buy, sell ice. I mean, you could mark up this zone. I'll just wait for something new. Let's see what the lugs look like. All right.
NQ stop by NQ 174 contracts.
So I'm filled in NQ and there's a new event. So now I can at least trail my stop here where I'm not risking. I'm gonna remove this. This was the first one. All right, so I have my favorite position on. I'm long NASDAQ, short ES. That's real fun. That's what it is. See, they're buying these stocks. This thing's gonna rip. All right, so what I can do here now is trail my stop, right? I mean, I bought right in the middle of the zone, but I didn't have a choice. Like this just fired off. But now I can go 3/4 of an ATR below here for my stop. That's not, I'm like, what? 104? How do I lose these charts again? Still not stopping me in this. Why can't I find this damn chart? Ridiculous. 31, 21, 23.4, so 23.5 points below this zone. I'll stop out. 47.25, it's 23, it's 24.25. 23.75. That's where I'll stop. I'm sure I'm stopped up by yes by now. Yeah, it's coming. My buddy ES. We have not gotten along since 05. That's the last time I actually played trading this pig. All right, so what were we, I haven't seen the zone and crude is still in there. What were we, I can't remember what we were talking about. Oh yeah, this is the stop run, but it's really close to the red lug. I was waiting for it to pop above the red lug, fail, and then play this as a dumb and dumber or rep, build new lug. So it's still in that zone. Gold is supposed to get, I was waiting for a retest failure in here. We're still there, still in this zone, right? Because we're right at the yellow lug. Right at the yellow lug. We're actually above it. I'm going to take this aggressively. This rips out of here. Just based on everything we talked about too, thesis wise. So 16.3 times 0.75 is 12.2 ticks. So we'll say 13 ticks out of here. I will go long aggressively. $81.94. right, so it's just dancing around doing nothing now. See if I can lose both these trades. Stop out on the long and Q, and then watch it rip back up and stop out of the ES. That'll be splendid. You little pig.
Russell Iceberg buy alert at RT, 150 contracts.
All right. On that, short ES. A lot of breath holding. That's why there's a lot of breath holding in ES. You can feel it. I hate when I have opposite positions on. It's like I don't even know what to cheer for here. I mean, I think NASDAQ, if this gets rolling, this is gone. So I'll take my lumps in ES and watch that thing roll. Or I can get filled in ES, stopped out, and then NASDAQ can turn around and stop out the other way. That'd be really neat too. All right, let's take a look at these lugs. Again, the expectation is to get to the red. If something happens and we get a bearish signal, then it's going to happen. Coming back at least to the yellow, and then probably the blue. You should not see a bearish setup in here. I'm going to get stopped out of this NASDAQ, I think. Yes, sir. What? It never stops right by my order. Come on, you guys can do better than that. Where's the tick out, then rip? That was pathetic. You guys are better than that. ES is back down to 96. Stuff is very choppy, very volatile. This will be a small loss in NASDAQ, so if I lose on this trade, which I was afforded because of the new setup, right? So because something new came in, I was able to, I played off the first setup, and then this came in, so I was able to trail it. But see, that here's the issue. Like this, all right, stopped, of course. This was the new setup. Now this is looking like it's going to be a bearish freaking ATR. And I'm going to turn around and go short this too. And I'll have dueling shorts on.
Gold ICE GC, 153 contracts. Gold stocks GC, 605 contracts.
So now you got a new setup here too. You can add and trail the stop. So I'm filled at 91. That turns around and I get stopped out to the upside and ES, I'm seriously going to break a screen. So hope you guys are ready. Hope you're ready for that. I said I wasn't going to do
Gold ICE GC, 150 contracts. Gold stocks GC, 152 contracts.
This is a double whammy. That's exactly what's going to happen. This is going to turn around and stop me out in ES too. That's funny. That's funny. Right, let me just get this in here so I can control my risk. What am I doing? think we might be at the red lug is the issue here. Hold on, let's check this out real quick. No, not yet. 80 and 27 is the red lug, so I'll be watching that intently. So the stop for this is going to go, I'm going to go ATR is 17.4 ticks. 0.4 times 13 ticks below here. So this is 80.
Gold ICE GC, 160 contracts.
This thing's gone.
Gold stocks GC,
Wow.
920 contracts. Gold ICE GC, 155 contracts.
Alrighty, here's the puke of pukes. This is what we were talking about, right? This is a fail breakdown. This is why I wanted to be aggressive. Let's see if we get new lugs here. There's your new lugs right on cue. This should not come back below here. We have a new setup. Now I can trail my stop. I could have been adding here. It's just too hard. I can't draw these zones and do all this on one screen. And look at this 1,000 stops here. Be nice if they came up with a way to draw zones when the stuff comes in, where I don't have to sit here and do this like it's 1988.
Gold ICE GC, 150 contracts.
All right, this is going straight to this next lug, I think. You could add to this, I just don't. I'm just trying to draw the damn zones. So next stop up is 1840.6. What do we got here? 230 by ice. This is a new setup. By the time I have this drawn, we'll probably be up another 50 ticks. I should have been added. This is exactly what we
Gold
talked
ICE
about.
GC, 162
This
contracts.
is a trade where you add, trail, add, and then you got 4 or 5 positions on right now, and you're making your month.
Russell Iceberg sell alert at RT, 150 contracts.
So I'm just going ATR right now below here. I'm not going to sit here with the damn calculator trying to figure this out while this thing's ripping. So an ATR below this latest zone is 22 ticks. So I'm going to go 22 ticks below here as my stop out. We'll just say 65. That's 41. No, 43. I'm still breaking the screen if I could stop that at ES, by the way, so just be ready for that. See. I honestly might take a break from ES. I can handle losses and anything else. I just can't stand that market.
Iceberg by ES, 700 for contracts.
Thank you. Hold on 1 second, guys. Oh, I take that back. I love the ES. It's my favorite market of all time. Because it's my favorite. All right, so we got a new setup here. Now you can trail your stop, right? To be risking 400 points. This is really easy doing the auto trader drawing zones and bringing these back and forth. It's really easy to do. I highly recommend it. All right, so this zone's tight, man. All right, so what you can do here, and I'm just going full ATRs right now because I don't have time to, I keep losing my charts. There we go. This is 7.31. So 7.25 points above this zone, I will stop out of this trade, right? New setup. Actually, let's look at where we are on the lugs. You can add to this too, right? See what's happening here? So now Actually, I'm going to get in aggressively on the break of this. It'll break baby lug. We're below the yellow. What should have happened? Should at least got to the baby lug. Couldn't do that. These weaklings couldn't even stop me out, right? And now we're back below the yellow. This is the next stop. That's what you're playing for. That's what I'm playing for. So I'm going 7.25 points above here, so 94.25. We'll stop out of that. No, now it's going to go right there because I just made fun of them. All right. So now if this holds, breaks below here, I'm going to short this aggressively, right? So ES is
Nat gas ice for buy alert at NG. 151 contracts.
5.25 points below here. I'll enter it aggressively if I don't get stopped on this. You know I'm going to get stopped just because I was ripping it here. I'm not going to put that in because I'm almost positive I'm going to get stopped right here. But it'll be basically break even. We lost a tiny bit in NASDAQ, but we caught the gold trade. So got that going for us, which is nice. What is this? I didn't even see this. There's the freeze. Oh, that was nothing, but this is a black mamba. You got a 500 black mamba there too. So what I'm gonna do here, let's see where we're at. This is right at the baby lug, right? Is that the, yeah, no, is that, I can't tell if that's a baby lug or not.
S&P ice for buy ES. 701 contracts.
I didn't put that order in, did I? No. What did I say, 5.25 points? So I'll be in this 79.5 is where I will add to this trade off of this new setup. Actually, there's new ice coming in here too. Hold on a second. Let's get this out of here. Same zone. Yeah, same zone. Again, I'm not putting that. I'm going to get stopped out of this. I know I am. So remember, this is gold. It doesn't have to stop, right? I mean, I've seen this thing go 400 ticks straight. So, you know, we're positioned where I got my stop and ATR below, full ATR below this. Usually I go 3/4. I'm just going a full. And then what I can do here, where's the next lug? So the next lug's up at 07. Yeah, I'm not going to add to that. Add to this setup just because the red lug's so close. So let's see if this zone can hold and we rip up to the new lug. Crude, by the way, oh, today's a crude number too, right? Crude's still on the zone. And the numbers into I'm not going to do anything in there. Like deciding if I want to hold into the number. All right, if you're going to stop me out, get it over with or die, one of the two. Pig. Did I mention I hate this market? All right, so this, again, this is choppy, but this couldn't even get to this and we got below here. This should hold and do that. So another thing you can do too, guys, if your stop, we have our standard stop for the setups, right? But if you're like, so say the where's our stop at 90? So that stop's actually a good spot, but say that stop, my stop for that zone was like right here. Well, move it above the lug. Don't get stopped out right at the lug. Move it a few points above the lug, right? I'm okay with stopping out above this lug and where it's at. But I'm saying if like the setup happened here and your stop would have been right here, well, go above the lug. Don't get stopped out on chopping this around the lug. I could still get stopped out on chopping this around the lug, but at least I'm above the yellow lug, which it should technically not get above right now. Cancel that. gonna scratch this thing. Make up your minds, man. Questions, concerns? At least you don't have to see me break a screen. I'm not gonna, this is not what I was gonna break a screen about. I thought I was gonna get stopped out on the long in NASDAQ, and I thought this was gonna come up and stop me out on the short on ES, and then I was gonna break something. Probably not a screen, but I would have found something in here to break. I promised my wife I wouldn't break it. She's like, you had a new monitor come. She's like, I thought you had enough monitors. I'm like, I did until I broke my $400 monitor. She didn't like that so much. She doesn't know the trials and tribulations of trading. It just stopped me out of this pig, so I just could stop watching it. Donkey. Let's look at some of these other markets. And in here, I think something fired off in Russell, but this would have been a good short off the red to make sure there's no new ones here. No, Dow I'm not trading currently, but same thing. Magical lugs. Whatever her inputs are, she's been spoken to by a higher power because they're unbelievable. Crude not touching until after the number. Here's gold. I can't tell if this is a baby lug or not. I don't think it is. No, it's up here. You can see it at 07. So you got double lugs up here. Baby lug, and she said the more lugs you have in an area, the more powerful it is. So if this comes up here, I'm definitely getting out of at least 2 of them. So this actually is a good example right here, right? So you remember where my stop was? Probably gonna cost myself here, but that's all right. See, the problem is how far do you go below the lug? That's the problem. So my stop in this gold is at 40, 43. Well, look where that's at. I just caught this now. That's above the yellow lug. So at least go, I'm gonna move it 10 ticks below here. Let's see. And see, you gotta go about 20 ticks though, that's the issue.
S&P iceberg by ES 700 to contracts.
So this is stuff where you're gonna have to make your own decisions, right? Like I'm very bullish this market after everything we talked about, so I'm gonna be willing to risk another 20 ticks on that, right? And then I'll hold the lug. I mean, it's right in the middle of this black mamba too, but look at this 2,000, goodness. So again, you got to decide on your own whether you just want to say I'm out and just wait and see what it does to hit a lug, or say this is market, like we've talked about why this market's so bullish. I'm willing to risk that it can't get below that yellow lug. That's more subjective, right? It's not like turnkey, do the same thing. 99% of the time, you're going to just follow the rules of lugs. What? I didn't get stopped out here? Did you notice that the minute I bring it back, that's when it's
Gold ice QC 150 contract.
I cannot watch this market. So this is what I see. I get off the screen, then it does this. Then the minute I bring the screen back, then it does that. That's not in my head. This market hates me and I hate it. I mean, literally the second I brought the market back, it just popped 4 points in my face. I was supposed to add to this trade too, wasn't I? Let's see. This should be fun. Sure, this is going to work out. After I've been bad mouthing this thing all day. 7.64. So 7.64. There's a new setup in gold too, by the way, times 0.75, 5.73. So I'm gonna go 5.75 below this zone if it comes back, and I'm gonna add to this trade. So 79, what's this? Just say 79, 50, 78, 75. So I would not have been filled there. So that is 3/4 of an ATR that I will add And I have full expectations then of a move to the blue lug down here at 60-ish, 61. So, you know, if you like VWAP, this could have been a spot. If you short this, you say, I'm going to get out of one here. So I'm going to do that anyway. I'll get out of one at VWAP. I don't usually do that, but I'll get this moving down if I do it. So if you guys are short, you're welcome. All right, let's see what's going on here. Thought I heard something. It was 135. So again, what story were the lugs telling you? Built new lugs, directional lug, couldn't get below, bounce off baby. This thing should have ripped. Couldn't even get to the baby, got back below, got our volume signals, held the yellow, got below baby. Now it's just bouncing here. This is the expectation. If something, you shouldn't see a bullish setup come down. If you do, then you gotta change your tune. Until then, you follow it all the way down. Who was it? AB was asking last week, how do you hold on to time? Well, there's no reason to get out. If this starts rolling down and I don't get a bullish signal, you hold the trade. You know how, you see how powerful these damn lugs are. Hold the trade to the lug. If you gotta walk out of the room, walk out of the room. Turn up your volume. So if you hear a volume signal comes up, and then don't watch it. All right, here we go. So again, this is probably going to bounce around VWAP a little bit, but if nothing comes in, it is what it is. This could even do this. I want to see that. Actually, I'll probably be stopped out if that happens. Let's see here. I think I filled to the tick, pretty close as usual. So this is the setup. So my stop's going to go now 3/4 of an ATR above this zone for everything. I should already have that in there. This is actually pretty big risk. I have too many on here. I shouldn't have put on 4 there. There you go. So now I'm risking an ATR, 3/4 an ATR above this zone. So it's the same. I trailed my stop down on this setup, right? And then I got filled on the new setup. Actually, I didn't do that. It was just the aggressive entry. So the stop's in the same spot. So now I hold it. The expectation will up. If something comes in volume bullish, I get out. If something comes in bearish, I can trail my stop again and potentially add to this trade, right? All I know is the story it's telling me is a lot of stuff happened that something should have happened and it didn't, and it didn't, and it didn't. Now I'm expecting that. You guys following? Questions, concerns? Is anybody watching? Am I talking to myself? I finally have a winner in ES and I have nobody watching. Again, it's not a winner yet. It's only a winner when you get out of the trade. Who am I kidding? I'm fully expecting the, this market hates me. And I hate it.
Crude iceberg buy alert at CL, 150 contracts.
Bueller. Just swipe down to the blue look just one time. Someone drop in like 3,000 contracts and swipe this thing down. Better, it reacts better when I watch it on the lug screen instead of Think I'm superstitious at all? All right, stuff's coming in crude, but again, I'm not doing anything. There's my alarm for the crude number, 5 minutes. Well, no congrats yet. I'm not out of this either. It's still to be profitable, but I want to see that this thing should make it to the red lug. Die, please. Die, Mr. ES. Again, if you're sitting here, it probably will, because it's the ES, rip right back up here. Who cares? Unless it can get back above here, let them play their games. Or if we get a bullish signal. If not, just sit back and wait for your target, right? There's no reason to get out right here. Like there's nothing here. I would say, if this is VWAP, I say, okay, like I got out of one, or if this is baby lug, get out of a couple. There's nothing here. So let it work. Expect that and say, okay, you can do this all you want. You got to prove to me you can get back above the shallow lug. If not, that's my target. Or something new comes in, right? The one thing we didn't look at is what this relative volume looks like. Let's see. Yeah, normal. All right. I mean, are you guys starting to see the power of these lugs and what should happen, what shouldn't happen? And then you get your volume and it's just like, I mean, it's gold. No pun intended. I mean, we've seen how powerful these are over the last year. Like it'll be a year in May since we've been using them. And I was just not using them in the more, I was not utilizing, I was probably using them in 10% of the capacity that they should be used, right? Like I was using support and resistance, but again, go back and watch that video that I did with Pamela. It is key to where she talks about this should have happened, but it didn't. And that gives you a signal. And that's just her just trading the lugs without the volume. And now you know how to trade the volume, or you should know, or you learn or get the course, understand the zone. And then it's just, you can control your risk, right? It's just, I don't even, it's incredible. Again, I'm mad at myself that I went 7 months before I watched that video again. I don't even know what spurred me to watch it. And I watched it, I'm like, what the hell have I been doing? Like this is, and then I would just go back, like that was 7, 8 months ago. And I started looking at charts. It's like, here's one, here's one, here's one, here's one, here's one, here's one. And I'm like, okay, yeah, let's start to incorporate this. Yeah, it's up in here. I'll just put it in here again. Hey, you guys, I'm telling you, just watch this. It's clear, it's concise, it's not technical. I'm not technical. I don't make things confusing, simple, stupid, right? Put it in, hold on a second. See how well I'm doing in ES because I'm not watching it? I'm assuming it's selling. Yeah, see, it's selling up there. I don't like the stocks not participating though. Hold on. Straight shot. Let's go. Straight shot to the blue. Little donkeys. There's the webinar. Watch it, live it, learn it. Things are going to come real clear, real quick as far as understanding what should happen, shouldn't happen. It's, again, I'm kicking myself. I'd be on my way to $1 million trigger again if I started this 7 months ago, but it's fine. You know, I was getting the room up and running, and I'm got a lot going on, but better late than never. I keep saying it. Yep, you're welcome. So, you know, again, nothing's coming in. Am I expecting that? Yeah, it probably will happen. So you expect that, and but you just say, you know what, I don't care. If you see a bullish setup, then you're like, okay, something's up, I'm out. You know, 3/4. Other than that, let this work. All right, Gold, we know what you're gonna do, just do it. Like, what are you doing? This black mamba here, what was this? Another 5, oh yeah, we already pointed that out. You see how well I do when I get off of the screen? Yes, like it's just nothing but selling when I don't watch it. Now watch us, you ready? Watch. All right, I'm back. Hey, I'm back, guys. Come on. You know I'm watching. Well, it's not ripping, but it won't sell. So I can at least say that. All right, here come the stocks. Stop messing with my short.
S&P iceberg buy
There you go.
703 contracts.
Here's your event. Now you can trail your stop.
Multiple.
Under add.
To iceberg buys contracts.
I'm just getting out of a couple right here because there's big ice coming in here, and then I'm going to reassess. So you can do this, right? If you hear big ice come in, you can peel out of a couple and then reassess. So now look at this. Like I'm getting out of it. When I see 23 buy ice come in, there's nothing wrong with getting out a couple like immediately, right? So here's your ice. So now what do? Now we trail our stop, 3/4 an ATR above this zone. ATR is 7.64. 7.64 times 0.75.
S&P iceberg buy 701 contracts.
5.73. So 6 points out, 5.5, and I'll just say 6 points. 76/4, I'm out. Or blue lug. I won't be out of all of them, but I'll be out of most of them. Zeiss is coming in still. Is that another glob of 2,500? Wait, what is this? I just didn't draw this far enough down, that's all. $3,000 icebergs. If this breaks, we're getting to that blue lug and we're gonna bust it. This is my call. Because I'm a lug expert now after a week and a half. So the lug is at 61. Come on, gold. So you see there's no internal conflict, right? It's like I'm playing for that blue lug. If this rips up, I'm getting out for a reason. I'm not getting out because I'm trailing my stop based on my P&L, which is the dumbest thing you can ever do, right? These markets are rotational. You're going to get stopped out. This stop is based not on this, but on this. So if this rips up, this is a bullish setup that tells me something's wrong to the short side, and I'm going to be looking, then I would look for one of these to go long. But other than that, just let the damn thing work. Don't ruin trades because you're watching this. Turn off your P&L and trade. right? It's not to say that this can't happen, but if it does, something's up. This is what we watch the webinar. This is one of the first things we talk about. The expectations blue lug. If this thing holds and then it turns bullish, well, that's telling you something. We didn't get here. You get a bullish setup, then we're probably coming back here and then maybe to here, right? If that happens, that hasn't happened yet. We're 6 points away from this lug. I would add to that. I'm not going to add to this setup because we're so close to the red lug, right?
S&P ICE iceberg by ES,
There comes more ice.
707 contracts.
Definitely buying it here. So what's going to be a good trade? Well, if this thing swipes down to the blue and you see, I will turn around and get out and buy it. If there's buy ice down here, I'm not making the mistake I made yesterday. Let's see. Let's rehash that. Let's talk about some negative stuff. I've been too positive for this webinar, at least for the last half hour. Hold on. Let's see what happens here first. Keep crushing these stocks. That's another thing. You got tick strike. It just helps you have some confidence in what you have on, right? If these are silent as we break, you're like, buy ice, silence. I'm gonna peel out of it.
S&P ICE iceberg by ES, 704 contracts.
Keep buying ice. Just swipe down to the blue. I'll flip it. There's more ice down there, like I just said. What's blue lug? GTE. I've been here for less than a week and just tried one micro in the ES. That was great, especially in the ES. You don't usually get these types of moves straight. You got to get tortured for an hour or two. I usually give a few points, then pull them. I walked away. Exactly. Just, if you understand what the lug should be doing, and you'll get better at that. I'm going to get better at it, and that's when it's going to get ridiculous. And then you use your volume. That's trading. This is what it is right here. Again, whatever her inputs are, the algos are, I mean, it's unbelievable. And then you have your real-time volume to confirm or deny. So again, if this rips up and stops me out, then I'm going to be looking, I'm going to look for, because you should not get a bullish setup before the blue lug. This should tag the lug. If this turns bullish, then I'm going to look for that and I'm going to go long. I wait for the full ATR retest failure because we're below the yellow lug, right? Did the crude number come out? Oh, you know what? The crude number is not today because Monday was a holiday. Sweet.
Crude ICL, 153 contracts.
I'm not drawing the zones. Well, here's a new one anyway. I'm gonna clear this out. I was poor caddying on that. Completely forgot Monday was a holiday. So you got, this is a double whammy here. Let's see where we're at in the lugs to base our judgment. Volume of that. Thesis with lugs. Do you see how every time I get off the screen for ES, they drill it? It's I'm telling you. ES and I do not see eye to eye. See, bring it back. So bring it back here. Little buy.
S&P ICE iceberg by ES, 710 contracts.
All right, I'm ready to cover these at the blue lug, especially if this ice keeps coming in like this. Come on, just swipe down, man. You can do it. Another 1,200. I'm gonna get out of one.
S&P ICE iceberg by ES, 701 contracts.
I already know I'm getting out the blue lug, so I have no problem piecing out as another 1,400 buy ice come in here, right? Keep on 3. But I mean, I'm not, you see this kind of stuff come in, for, 3 or 4 more points, if this thing could just take off this ice, I'm willing to. Again, if you're short, you're welcome, because me getting out of some, it's just gonna help your sell-off. That's all it's gonna do. And you can trail your stop now off of this newest ice. So the top of this zone is 67.5. I don't want to miss this blue lug.
S&P ICE iceberg by ES 701 contracts.
There's more. This is setting up for a nice hold here rally.
S&P ICE iceberg by ES 700 contracts.
We're gonna have another one. Again, close enough to look. And then I'm gonna reassess to go long. Still have 2 on. All right, so what I can do here at least is, again, 3/4 of an ATR above here. 7.28 is the ATR, 7.28 times 0.75, 5.46. So 5.5 points above here puts me at now 72. 67, say 67.5, 73. There you go. I'm not trailing my stop because of my P&L. I'm trailing my stop because of the new setup. Right? I want to see one more. If this can just swipe down one more time and I get another 2,000 bias at this blue lug, it's going to turn around and rip, or it should. And if it doesn't, and we build new lugs, the thing's going to die another 50 points. Right? Just hammering the stocks. See, this is where tick strike really, really helps you stay in these trades. You're like, okay, hammering these stocks, I'm still in. Again, I have all my defaults at 11, so I don't see anything less than 11. And this is algorithm. The algorithm he has is taking the speed of the orders and the size. If anything, you guys should have this just to alert you to other markets if something's going on in the other markets. He's got, go to my website, there's deals, there's like discounts to it too. I've used this for years. Again, I'd stopped using it for a while, but he updated the software and now they're awesome. You always know what's going on in these other markets, first and foremost.
Crude stock CL 151 contracts. Crude ICL 152 contracts.
I've been on for an hour, 45 minutes. So this is, it looks like a broken Dumb and Dumber, right? And now here comes another Dumb and Dumber, 152, 134. I'm gonna make this just one big, massive Dumb and Dumber. I mean, I'm sorry, double whammy, not Dumb and Dumber. Double whammy is the dumb money puke into the waiting hands of the opposing side. This is still coming in. Hold on.
Crude ICL 150 contracts.
All right. I mean, as long as it's not that bad, it's going to be probably 30 ticks. It's not terrible. Double whammy color is dark blue. All right, so there's our volume event. Now we go and look at the lugs, figure out what could possibly be going on. We'll look at that, lucky. So if this fails, I am taking an aggressive short, right? Like this, If this breaks above here and we build new lugs, here's your volume. I'm going long. I will wait for retest failure because it'll be the yellow lug, but then I'll go long, right? So this is a really important area. Let's just make sure these are updating. All right. So I will, it's the next thing you check, ATR 19.6. So we'll say 20. 20 times 0.75. Is it 15? Yeah, it's 15, right? So 15 ticks below here, I will aggressively short this, playing off the red lug with the volume event. So 96 at the bottom of the zone, 81 is where I'm getting in aggressively. If this rips, we're going to build new lugs, and then what am I going to do? I'm going to wait for 20 ticks away. It's not that far. It'll be right here. I'll wait for a retest failure, and I'll get in 3/4, and I'll go long, and then I'll play for the red lug, next red lug up. Here we go. Blue lug or bust. Be careful, Terry. Well, can't talk. Be careful here too. You got deviate right here. Like, don't mess around. Like, especially if some more volume comes in. I'm gonna add one more here. I don't need to. I've just seen this too many times. So you have a blue lug and then deviate low. This thing could easily just stop right here and not touch the lug. But then that'll be a sign too. You want to see a lug tag. If this doesn't tag this blue lug, and then we start doing that, and we get ice, then we're coming back to these areas. And I'm fine. Look, I'm fine getting out right here because if we do blow through here, then we build new lugs. We'll get a new volume event, and then I can just get back in short. Right? Again, don't be greedy here at this area. Like, watch these stocks. You know, if these stocks start to quiet down, ready to get out. All right, they're still hammering the stocks.
S&P iceberg by ES.
Out,
7 iceberg by ES. 700 contract.
out, and I will go long.
700 contract.
There's your tag, real close. Let's see. That's what I'm talking about. There's your DVA, here's your thing. I mean, I will pull long. This is canceled. You guys just witnessed an ES winner that I would take cover because your house is probably gonna get struck with lightning. It's pretty much a straight shot. You had a couple little blips, but this was, yeah, again. GC to the red lug, huh? I didn't see that. Where? Very quiet creep up. Where? Yeah, oh man. That was like 20. That's not cool. Okay, didn't get up there. That's fine. All right, so what's going on here? This is 1,000 here, and you can play off of this. This whole thing is one big ice. Like, they've been buying this since 70, right? They're still hammering the stocks, so this is why tick strike is so important as well. Like, you're not just jumping in here at the blue lug. If they're still hammering these stocks, just give it a little bit. All right, so this ice was basically here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make this last zone just one big zone. I'm going to remove this. gonna make it a different color too, so it's not confusing. Let's make it whatever color that is. Green, maybe? Again, I'm colorblind, so I think it's green or purple. I don't know. All right, see, these are starting to quiet down now. Hey, look at that, now we're gonna bounce. So what you can do here, what I'm gonna do here, there's your volume event, real close to the blue lug. And even though it didn't get there, that's even more bullish, right? Because it should tag the lug. Again, watch the video. It's like the first thing she talks about is if the market doesn't tag the
Russell
lug.
Iceberg sell alert at RT, 150 contracts.
You still give the benefit of the doubt to the tag of the lug, right? So if you were short, if you just were trading lugs here, you got to sit in this and you got to give the benefit of the doubt. But you have the benefit of knowing what just happened here in real-time volume. And if this breaks above here, it's going to be a bullish event. You don't have, and it's more than likely not tagging that lug, and we're probably coming back to these. Right? So quickly, and I'm going to hop off here. What is the, hopefully I can find the chart before it happens, because I just keep losing charts. 7.31. 7.31 times 0.75, 5.48. So 5.5 points out of here, I'm long. That'll put me at 70. What's that? 73? Yeah, 73. Did you see how, guys, when it came down there and these stocks stopped? Boom. 8 points. So what am I risking here? It's going to be like a 15-point trade, so I can only put on half size there. So if you were still short and you didn't get out the lug, you're waiting for the lug. One, I said, be careful because ICE is coming in. We're at the DBA. Again, DBA is daily value area. It's one standard deviation. You have all these algos that play these DBA areas. This is DBA, one standard deviation from VWAP, 2, 3, I'm sorry, 1, 1.5, 2, and then I don't have 2.5, 3 drawn, but you have these algos. That's why I said, don't play games here. Don't be greedy for an extra 2 points. This could do that. The stock stopped selling, boom. Okay, so at this trade 73, I'm long. I'm putting my stop 3/4 of an ATR below this zone. And that'll put me below the spot gamma level as well. And if I get stopped out, then we're going to draw new lugs, and then I'll be looking for shorts. The only other position I have on here, I will short crude if this fails. If we get above here and draw new lugs, then I'm looking to go long. Again, quick look at the lugs. We're right here, right? One more refresh to make sure there's no new lugs. No. And then gold, I am either going to stop out below that zone or red lug. Right? And if this rips up, we build new lugs, get a new signal, I'll add to it. I'll probably get out of 2 at the red lug unless it just rips right through it. And I'll hold some. All right, guys, I'm out of gas. I'll be back at 2 o'clock. Hopefully you guys got something out of this. You know, I don't know of anything more powerful in trading besides understanding what should happen with these lugs, and then obviously the volume. Like you guys have it all. You just got to learn it. I'm telling you. All right, I'll see you guys at 2 o'clock. Thanks.